Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Phoebe if you're new. Today I'm going to be talking about my fashion icks. And this is just a really lighthearted video. I'm a firm believer that you can't get fashion wrong. If you like what you're wearing, you've done a great job. So this video is solely if you want to hear my opinion. The nature of fashion is that it's so subjective. So I don't want anyone to think that I actually think these things are like wrong or bad. They're just my opinion. And hopefully the reason you clicked on this video is because you're interested in hearing someone else's opinion. So that's as far as I'll go with the disclaimers on today's video. But just know that the only way to get fashion wrong or to get an outfit wrong is to wear something that you don't feel good in. So if you like any of these things that I'm mentioning, keep wearing them. Nobody is gonna actually care. This is just a fun opinion video. These are just things that I see as things that bring an outfit down rather than up, and I have easy like fixes for all of them to take your outfit up a notch rather than down. These are things that like if I see them in an outfit, there's like just something slightly off about them. It's usually things that like they're not overtly horrible. They're just like the designer got something a tiny bit wrong, or like they look cheap because of this small detail. These are just like the small things that I notice that irk me, I guess. My first one is crocodile skin. Real or fake? I think because it's like kind of trendy in fast fashion, there are so many little crocodile print purses. I have had one, and I think crocodile print is just so hard to get right. I think it looks cheap no matter if it's real or fake. It just looks like shiny plastic to me. It looks like fake patent leather, and it just reads cheap to me. I've never seen something that's like a crocodile skin texture that I think looks expensive. And again, it's not about showing off wealth or like showing status or anything. It's just that if your piece looks cheap, it looks poorly made and it looks fast fashion. If you can't afford, like most of us, like me included, if you can't afford to buy like super expensive clothes all the time, you can find nicer quality things at thrift stores. So I would say, oh, hello. Hi, honey. Do you have to go out? I was saying, I think that your best bet is to just replace it with regular leather. If you want that more textured look or like patterned look, I think snakeskin is a little bit better than crocodile. I do think it still tends to read cheap, so you have to be careful with what you buy. I guess the moral of this one is that if you're gonna buy leather or like animal skin material of any kind, try to make it real, but try to thrift it. I do not really endorse the like new production of fur and like leather and stuff. I think there's enough to go around in thrift stores, secondhand, like Depop, whatnot, whatever. I don't think there's really any reason to be buying new real leather, but I think even less so or equally so, there's no reason to be buying new fake leather that's just made of plastic. My little crocodile skin purse, I thrifted it, but it was still fake and new. It was like over $100, so it would not have been worth it to buy new. I thrifted it because it was $6. I thought, is it gonna read cheap? But I didn't want to miss the opportunity, so I just bought it because it was $6. And it just disintegrates. And that's the same with any fake leather. You have it for a little while, and then it gets to the point where if you just like touch it or rub it, it just disintegrates. It's so not worth it, and it looks cheap. Part of me feels the same about patent leather as well, even if it's real. I think just like the shininess makes it look like plastic. And maybe I feel a little bit differently with shoes. I guess more just like bags and jackets and stuff. Just try to go for thrifted real leather. My next one is acid wash jeans. I have a bone to pick with them. I know that like there's a difference between good streetwear and just like trashy looking clothes, and to me acid wash jeans just always look trashy. I'm not so much of a streetwear girl in general, so maybe that's why I just don't like them, but to me again they just read so cheap. I feel like everyone wore cheap fast fashion acid wash jeans in high school, so maybe I just have some like qualms with it because of that. I think if you want like a multi-toned denim, there's ways to do that besides getting acid wash jeans. They look like you tie-dyed them with bleach, and that's like pretty much exactly what they are. are. Honestly, I think don't get a like two-toned denim in general. I think if you want two tones in your jeans, you should get regular denim jeans that have like thick stitching that contrast with the tone of the jeans. I just think there's no way to make them look good, and you're welcome to challenge me on that. While I'm on the jeans train, my next one is jeans with bright gold buttons or jeans with completely flat buttons. Regular good jeans have either like old faded silver or old faded copper buttons, and they're usually textured. They usually have the name of the denim company on them. They're not usually those completely flat buttons. And even if they're not the like flat, just generic button, even if they are like a nice button with the denim company, with the denim brand's name on them, if they're bright gold, they look so cheap. I don't know what the psychology is behind that reading cheap. Maybe it's just because for some reason those materials are cheaper to make. Like it's obviously it's not like real gold. So when it's super shiny like that, it just looks like fake plastic hardware rather than like an actual metal. I don't know. It's so hard to explain because those buttons probably are metal, but they just read cheap. I don't know the science behind it. They look ugly. Get a pair of jeans with a really understated but true button. I explained that horribly, but I feel like from the photos, you're going to understand the difference. The last thing on the jeans theme is pin tuck jeans, specifically the kind that have the thick gathered seam that goes all the way down the front, or the ones that go all the way down on like the top of your hips. They look stretchy to me, if that makes sense. And maybe it's just because a lot of the ones I've seen in the past have been stretchy, so they don't look like true denim to me. All of this is kind of along the lines of it reads fast fashion, it reads cheap. And again, like I'm saying, it's not that inexpensive is bad or that you need to be wearing designer clothes that make you look rich. It's not about that at all. It's just about looking like you're wearing a well-made piece of clothing versus a not well-made piece of clothing, a fast fashion piece of clothing. I think you can get the same kind of Western look just from regular boot cut jeans or regular wide leg jeans. I don't think they need to have those thick gathered seams running all the way down. I don't know if you'd call them pleats or what. And I think it's because they were a trend for a while, like years and years ago. So all of the fast fashion brands did them and they were stretchy. They weren't real denim. They were like, they're never going to be like a classic piece. And it's not that I think you always need to be wearing timeless pieces. It's just that it has that one thing that just bothers me. You look at it and you go, that's not as chic as it could be. It's not as classic looking as it could be. I feel like I sound like a bitch this whole time, but they're just my little fashion qualms that I don't like. My next one is tapered suit pants. This might be controversial. I think all of this will be kind of controversial just because we're not going to all have the same opinions. I think if you're going to wear a suit pant, it needs to be full length and it needs to be a straight leg pant. Even a wide leg pant. I don't care. But tapered pants look like Hillary Clinton. Do you know what I'm saying? They look like they're part of a pantsuit, but not the cool kind. I think if you want a tapered pant, go for a capri instead. I think you have to commit. Whatever you're going to wear, you got to commit. If you're going to wear a capri, make it a short capri. If you're going to wear a suit pant, make it full length, make it straight leg. If you're going to wear something tapered, make it a capri trouser. My next one is houndstooth. Really specifically a large print houndstooth that's two-toned. I know that's very specific, but I think like the old school houndstooth that's like a really small print, maybe on like a scarf that's neutral colors like reds and tans and charcoals and navies. I think that always looks kind of classy and nice, but I think specifically the big printed, just two-toned houndstooth reads cheap because it's been done so much in fast fashion recently because it's been trending with like the sweater vests and stuff. If you like houndstooth print, I would just suggest making it a more old school, smaller print houndstooth with multiple tones rather than just like pastel large print houndstooth or just black and white large print houndstooth. And I don't think those kinds of colors do it justice. I don't think the pastel colors or the black and white do it justice. I could see black and white houndstooth being kind of cute in like a fitted capri, like a small print black and white houndstooth in a fitted capri, almost like the same vibes as gingham. But when it's that big print, it just looks cheaper because that's what all of the fast fashion brands have been doing when it came into trend. If you like something, there is always a way to do it in either a super classic chic way or a more like contemporary experimental like editorial way. The way these fast fashion brands crank them out just isn't gonna be either of those. And that's where I will preach thrifting again, because you can experiment with these things, see if you really like them, and you'll get your hands on older pieces that are like more tried and true and not just cranked out and cheaply made, because it's always easy to tell when something's a fast fashion, cheaply made piece, in my opinion. My next fashion ick is elastic or stretchy suit pants or trousers. Now, this is a specific one because I actually think they can look really pretty if they are the kind that have no buttons, no pockets. They're just a fitted trouser or fitted suit pant or fitted capri. Those I think look nice. Where I think you can go horribly wrong is when you get something that's supposed to look like a suit pant with buttons and pockets or a trouser with buttons and pockets, but it's elastic at the top instead. Not only does it look cheap, it just looks like you didn't fully commit. If you want to wear suit pants, you got to get real suit pants. If you want to wear trousers, you got to get nice trousers. The way these look to me look like you wanted to wear suit pants or trousers, but you wanted to show off your body more. Or like you didn't think that suit pants were flattering and you thought these were like hotter. Do you know what I'm saying? Like people can make the mistake of like when you want to look flattering in your outfit, you wear something skin tight. And well, maybe that will show off the shape of your body and like a flattering way. If your value is in fashion, that's just not the way to go. Does that make sense? Sometimes you kind of got to pick your poison. There are definitely good outfits that are really flattering on the body, but sometimes you have to pick one or the other. Sometimes you got to pick a nice classic cut pant for the sake of the outfit, and you're not always going to be able to wear something skin tight that shows off your butt. Like you're going to look like a pancake sometimes, and that's totally fine. Fashion is for the girls, not for the male gaze. Listen, I'm not shaming anyone who wants to show off their body, but I think there are better pieces to do it with. I think if you want to, go for something that is meant to be tight, like go for something that's more form-fitting in nature rather than taking something like a suit pant and making it tight when the classic version of it isn't. Does that make sense? My last one is ribbed basics. And where there's a rule, there's always an exception. I actually wear ribbed basic tanks a lot, but that's like the one thing that I don't really have a problem with is a ribbed tank top. Those are like very classic and casual to me. What I don't like is like a tight long sleeve that's ribbed, or a tight short sleeve that's ribbed, or a tube top that's ribbed. I think they just look cheap. I think it's much more flattering. If you're gonna wear just like a basic white long sleeve, it's much more flattering to get just a completely non-textured cotton one, or one that's ribbed that's like really small ribs that you don't even notice they're there. This tank top that I'm wearing is actually ribbed, but you can't really tell from far away. I just think ribbed material reads cheap. I know I keep saying that every time, but I think that's just what it comes down to, is the things that make your outfits just like slightly off are the pieces that look cheaply made in a fast fashion factory. So I would just say invest in basics that aren't ribbed, that are nicely made. Tank tops aren't so much a problem, but like if you're gonna get a long sleeve, I would avoid ribbed ones. That's all I have today. I know this was kind of just like a stream of consciousness ramble, but I love hearing other people's thought processes when they're picking out their outfits and picking out their things that they want to buy. And it's always just interesting to me to get a perspective on other people's like really nitty-gritty preferences that they have. So I hope that this video was fun and entertaining and not just like annoying and ranty. Yeah, let me know if you agree with these or if you have any more to add to the list. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next week. Bye.